Oh, everything's fixed now. So, hi everyone. Well, welcome back to Vox and Quill and a Session 0 campaign premiere of DEADLIGHT.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
Raith, introduce yourself.
What should I say? I've known you forever. I've been gaming in Evindale for over 15 years, so I know the world, but not this age.
Yeah, it is a totally
difference.
a different thing. Raith, welcome to the 5th Age of Evindale. You created this shit.
I'm aware. I'm scared. I'm scared because yes.
So, your character comes from a place known as Thorn Hollow Expanse. It's where the woods are watching and the choir is listening. Thorn Hollow is a half-forgotten village at the edge of Thorn Hollow Expanse. It is a dense, shifting forest that has reclaimed more lives than anyone dares count. It was once a timber outpost, now a place where maps fail and compasses spin. The world has gone odd and weird, but the people who live there don't need maps or compasses. They don't know of these things. Only we do. As for what they perceive, all of this that I'm about to tell you is normal. But to us, the trees grow too fast. Animals move like they know where you're going. And people vanish without struggle. The village survives, barely. A few dozen homes lean inward like old friends trying to stay warm. Roofs sag and tools are shared. Words are fewer. Folk here barter, hunt, keep their heads down. Superstitions aren't just for the old, they're for the living and those who wish to stay alive. And beyond the village, the Iron Choir keeps watch. Now, no one's sure exactly what they are. They don't preach, they don't recruit, and they don't speak. Not in words. They're masked with ornate iron masks. They're wrapped in gray, with chains for belts, and they tend to the dead and mend what others won't touch. Bodies, relics, places better left alone. And when someone goes missing in the forest, they're often the ones to bring back what's left. That's what most people know. But at night, everyone can hear the choir working. The song of hammers against iron. They're constantly forging, and any kind of metal within the village is usually surrendered to them. They've also established the laws. You don't ever have to belong to the choir. You just need to obey. So, some say that they keep the forest at bay. Most people know that that is completely false. They don't even claim that they do it. But enough of a belief has risen where they think that the choir listens to it. And no one asks too many questions. Not in Thorn Hollow. I'm going to ask you some questions regarding your character's experience, and once again, there's no such thing as a wrong answer, and at no point am I ever going to hold you to your answers. This is part of an organic character development. So, cool. I just said that Thorn Hollow doesn't have laws. Or, excuse me, I just said Thorn Hollow has laws. I think it might be better to say that Thorn Hollow doesn't have laws, but instead it has consequences. So, what's one unspoken rule that everyone knows, and how did you learn it the hard way?
There's no need to steal from your caravan or your group, even, I mean, like foodstuffs, not like things, because, you know, I was younger and I was kind of hungry and I saw an apple on someone's thing or whatever it might have been, bread, doesn't matter, and I took it, and I found out later when they fed me the next day, they removed a portion of my food because I had taken the day before.
That's perfect. They will remove food. You are now establishing some of the laws of Thorn Hollow. It will remove food from the next day's.
Well, yeah, if you steal food, you lose food. If
Rations.
You steal this, you lose that. Yeah, it's 1-to-1 kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
if you steal water, you lose water. Yeah. Whatever.
Oh. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh, I like that. Hold on. Because I just got this notion of like reclaiming water from Dune, and they reclaim water
nice.
from bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on.
That's wild.
Reclaim water from the living if they steal water. That's fucked up.
Yerp.
Everyone pulls their weight in Thorn Hollow. So what's your skill, trade, or hustle that keeps you useful? And who would you turn on if you stopped doing it? Or excuse me, and who would turn on you if you stopped doing it?
There we go. I was like, I can't answer that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. My thieving, my nickname was given to me by these people.
And what's your nickname?
My nickname is Wisp because I move like a whisper, and you just want to use one syllable, so they call me Wisp. It's faster to make that sound, so that's what they called me. And my thieving skills, my perception, my ability to know what to take, almost like scavenger-esque. This is stupid. This is worth something. This can be given to someone else. And I'm able to, every once in a while, replace those rusty tools, nab some extra food. But I mostly do that when we come across people of wealth, if you will, or that have too much and look upon the urchins as less than, the people below their stature as less than. And that's kind of like that Robin Hood thing. You steal from the idiots and give to yourself first, but then give the leftovers to other people. But your caravan and your people are part of that first. So I'm the hunter of things and the finder of said things as well.
So you are what Thorn Hollow would consider a forward scout. But as opposed to trying to, like in the case of expansion, as opposed to trying to find out what enemy movements are or what have you, there are people in the woods who understand how the woods work. And every now and then they encounter somebody who has goods that you need to take from them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm good at my job.
Well, what happens if you get too good at it? What happens when you get too good at it?
I'm not really sure how to answer that.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of overconfidence that could lead to a stupid. We can say that.
Okay. That's all right. That's cool. You have a suggestion from the chat.
I see that.
Carbon Base says, now I'm trying to imagine a special whistle or bird call that sounds like Wisp that your compatriots would use in clandestine situations. That's pretty cool. All right. I have another.
And it's.
Yeah.
Oh, go. I was going to. Who's that? Carbon? Carbon.
It's
Carbon. That's cool.
It's Ben. Carbon Base. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wasn't reading it right away. My gameplay is always in the rogue class, and I always have some sort of whistle. And my most recent one that I've been using is 1, everything is fine. 2, give me a second, there might be some trouble. And if you hear a third one, you better run as fast as your little body can fucking get there. That's my kind of thing. And it's what I do is with the area that I'm in, I listen to the nature and the birds that are there. So I use the natural whistle so it doesn't sound out of place.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so
what he said is pretty true.
So when it comes down to Pathfinder character development, we didn't discuss this prior to, but I think it might be useful. We start jotting down little things that you said, like for example, you want to be able to mimic things that are in nature. So if I were you, I would take trained nature as an example.
I do have trained nature.
Perfect. Oh, because you already created your damn sheet. That's fine.
Yep, I finished my sheet.
Okay.
Ish. This is just just like you're asking me these questions.
Yeah.
This is just so I had something, because I can't play a game without some kind of predetermined thing.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you do you. You do whatever's required for you to play.
Hey, I don't want to do me. This is a live stream.
Thanks for visiting Vox and Quill. We'll see you guys next week. Alrighty.
Anyway, good.
Number 3. Reputation travels faster than fire out here. What's the first thing that people say about you when your name comes up? And what part of that story do they always get wrong?
The name, because I only go by Wisp, so my reputation is if you don't keep your eyes on him, you're gonna lose him. He's just gone in a second. You never know he was even there. But what they get wrong is that I steal from everyone, and I'm a greedy fuck because they know that's what I do. But that's the only part of they know what I do. They don't know what I do after I take the stuff. So they just think I'm a generic greedy thief.
Oh, okay. All right. What they get wrong is he steals from everyone. So here's a follow-up then. Who keeps that version of you alive and why?
I would
Or do you want me to create that NPC?
You know what? Do that, because mine is going to be generic, and I love the way your brain works, and I would love to have some sort of antagonist. So that works. Even if it's a group of people or just the gossip highway, tea time.
Sure.
Let's spill some tea. Yeah, that type of thing. It's just, I don't mind it because I don't care. And my biggest thing is I don't stay in one place that often, so I don't really give a crap what you think about me where I just was.
Okay. All right. Let me see. So I'm thinking Fennel Briar. Most people's surnames, they don't come from family because family doesn't have the same meaning as it does for us in real life. Instead, it comes from the place in which you were born, or something that you did as a child, or some reputation, or, of course, many times your profession. Fennel Briar. He runs a tannery just north of Thorn Hollow's trail. He always smells like lye and wet leather, of course. We're going to say that he is broad-shouldered. We'll say that he is soft-eyed. Twice burned. Yeah, twice burned by trusting the wrong people.
Oh, no wonder why he doesn't like me.
He keeps stories alive because stories are armor to him. And he's the one who says that Wisp steals from everyone. He says it loud, and he says it often. And what he leaves out is that Wisp never stole from him. So the truth is, you two used to run together years back.
Oh.
And this was when Thorn Hollow had more paths in and fewer graves. So how old are you now?
I haven't thought about that.
Now's the time. And again, we don't lock it in. So
Yeah,
anything you say.
Because I'm playing a human, so let's say 24.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For this world, he's old. So we'll say that
He's
around
a little seasoned.
14, 16 years old, which is when most people are. At the age of 9, you've already received your very first tool that you would work with, even if it's an edged instrument like an axe. For you, a dagger or what have you. It could have been a crossbow. Well, we'll say 200 years, they probably would have had crossbows by now. And for those of you that are real-world historians, The fifth age of Evindale is very close to the years 500 to 800 CE, pretty much after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So kind of give you guys an idea as to levels of technology. So we're going to say that something happened between you two in the woods. No one knows what. And Finnell won't ever talk about it. But he'll always be the first to say, watch that one. He's clever. And
so maybe that ties into going back. What happens if I get too good? That could be jealousy on that guy.
Okay. I was going to give you one last thing.
Well, please do.
Finnell is also the last one to admit, I owe him.
Ah.
What do you think?
Okay. Well, the fact that he owes me and he never mentions that I stole from him. He won't talk about that. And it's kind of like when you know you fucked up, but you don't have the ability to say you're sorry. You just kind of ignore the person. That's like the same idea. He doesn't want to have any contact with me because I owe him, and he's trying to sully my name. That way maybe I get in trouble or killed, so he doesn't have to owe me. Yeah, that makes sense completely. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
All right. So that is going to be Finnell Briar. Is somebody...
Briarthorn? Is that what you said?
No, it's Finnell Briar. B-R-I-A-R, yeah. Let's see. So NPC who owes Wisp. But spreads the rumor.
Yeah, wait till they all hear what my actual character name is. It's so far off from Wisp. It's so funny.
If you want to tell people, you can.
Oh, yeah, I'll just type it in the chat. It's a lot easier.
Okay. So I have a little bit more for you. I have 6 other questions. The Expanse is the area that surrounds Thorn Hollow on all sides. And some leave the walls to hunt, map, or salvage. What's the furthest you've gone, and what made you turn back?
What is after the Expanse that someone would be able to reach? Like, is there a forest that comes up, or is there a water? Is there water? Wow, that's not even a sentence. Is there water?
Well,
is there something
surrounds
that he would have a goal?
Yeah, it surrounds Thorn Hollow on all sides. So I could say you had 360 degrees worth of choice there. I would say that there is water, but that could also be a shoreline of a lake, and you just can't see the other side. So if you don't know if it's a lake, a sea, or an ocean.
Okay. The first thing that came to my mind is I got as far as I could to try to scavenge until I realized I was running out of water, and I don't want to die out there because we know you will.
So the Spine is a range of mountains that runs throughout this whole region.
Oh, so we're there. Okay.
And on one side, no, not the Spine of the World, which is way the fuck over. You know Evindale.
Okay. Yeah.
You know Evindale.
That's why I was like, okay.
See, this motherfucker, he knows Evindale, and there was an area there. It was a long range of black mountains that was known as the Spine of the World. And then I realized, I think they call that. I think there's that range, a mountain range like that in Forgotten Realms. So we ended up changing it. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, no, it's changed. And now for, out of sight, out of mind. No, they call this range of mountains the Spine because it's the only range of mountains in this area. And there are other settlements there. But like some ranges of mountains, one side has a rain shadow. And that's the side that you found yourself on. And that rain shadow will create, it's the mountains are so high that winds that carry moisture don't go over them. And instead they deposit all that liquid on that side of the mountain. That's where you get all the verdant nature or verdant green, riverlets, rivers, lakes, etc. And on the other side, you wind up with deserts. Now, it could be an Arctic desert. There's many different kinds. It's not just Sahara types. So, but yeah, you started running out of water, then that's what we're going to create. We're going to create a rain shadow on that side. So into a rain shadow.
Yeah. I could even be looking for caves, holes, some sort of activity of bodies, maybe little fires or something in the range in case someone has them, so I can potentially scavenge. That's a
Okay,
thing.
cool. So, we're going to say then that if you want, you can also take. You'd say that you could take a regional knowledge that would allow you a map of this area as well. So that's how you can get a map because your character literally
Nice.
created in their background. Needs map.
I have survival and nature as well, so that actually kind of helps.
Okay. Did you go out there with anyone?
I would say no.
Okay.
Because I'm better on my own, and I know if I need to hide, I need to hide. I don't need to be worried about someone else. That to me is just dead weight.
Okay. So there's a board in Thorn Hollow where jobs, debts, and favors get posted. So there's not a lot of secrets here. Now, what's something that's been up there for too long because everyone's too scared, too smart to take it? And why are you thinking about it anyway?
I don't know the creatures of this area because it's a new age, but
I can start telling you.
Yeah, no, not now.
Okay.
I want to let it, kind of be like a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice with having this type of thing because I have 0 to meta.
Yeah.
I have 0 to put in my face and go, nope, I can't do that. That's great. Let's say there's some kind of creature, fill in the blank, that is known to attack at night when someone is alone. Like they won't come near packs because they know that they can't do what they can do. But when you're out alone, which goes with what I did before.
Sure.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I was hunting for their lair, their nest, their thing, whatever, trying to find out where they are because people go missing. Hey, where'd that go? Oh, he went to go, see if he can find some firewood or some sticks or something, whatever the hell it might be. And we haven't seen him in hours, and now you never see him again. That kind of thing. You just walk off on your own, a little far away from everybody, out of earshot, and you get swiped away by this thing because it's fast and you don't know what it is. So again, fill in the blank because I don't know the.
So this is something that that no one, including you, has taken it, but you've been thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's scary as hell, and you need a lot of people to do it, and we don't, as of this point, knowing my people, I don't know who they are officially, but there's no one that really has the balls to go do this right now.
Got you.
But I'm like, dude, I can do it because I'm fast. Maybe I'm faster than him, and that kind of thing. So now that I'm older and I have the skills, stuff like that.
All right, perfect.
That might work.
Children born in Thorn Hollow don't get named until they survive a full season. What were you called before your name stuck, and who still uses it?
All right. His first name is officially Nerendor, and Neri was what he went by, and that was his close friend's sweet name, almost like something your mom would call or your significant other.
Okay.
Something like that, but it was my friends, my best friend, that type of thing. The people that I considered my little tiny circle in my age bracket, and they all called me Neri, and that's a thing.
So there's Ben is saying here, Ben would like to know, does Wisp have any siblings or other living family?
No siblings, but both of my parents, to my knowledge, are alive and in my caravan, so yeah.
Okay. And both parents are alive. And I like that. It was Neri because he made Neri a sound. That's funny.
Yeah, that's why I laughed. That's brilliant.
You've seen a body come back wrong. And when I say wrong, like nature started to reclaim it in ways that don't involve worms, dirt, and ivy simply running through bones. It's as if a portion of it started to adopt nature. So you've seen a body come back wrong. Who was it? What did they look like? And what did Thorn Hollow do about it?
And they were still functional and walking, and
No.
or a body came back, like
You've seen a body come back.
Yeah, got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that. And by the way, if you wonder why I keep looking down and doing this, my little doggy is over here, and I'm trying to figure out where.
No, all good.
Yeah, I know you know. I was kind of telling your stream chat.
Our stream
Let's
chat.
see. That's true because I am here.
Yes, you
are. Shit.
You want me to read it back?
No, I got it. I'm just thinking. I would say it wasn't anyone brutally important, like a nurse or whatever, doctor, someone who makes the food, the ale guy,
Ale.
brewer. There's the word.
Luxury.
Brewer. Yeah, exactly. Anything. I mean, we're talking like prison wine. Okay. That type of,
God.
excuse the expression, but you get the point.
Sure.
I'd say, well, it's not him, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, just let's say it was someone's eldest son, and he came back, and what did they do about it? Since we can't live, we move around too much, so we don't want to leave bodies in the ground of places where we're no longer. We burn the bodies, and also to make sure that it's kind of okay, here we go. I just pick something up. We burn the bodies to destroy or cut off any negative, anything that killed him, any whatever was poison or something over to whatever it might have been. It just cleanses the body so it can have a better afterlife instead of just being left dead with whatever killed him. So we would burn the body, and there's no revenge to be taken unless you know exactly how they died and where. But definitely revenge would happen if we know.
So it's good that you burn the bodies because nature, in a way, and for still unknown reasons, doesn't really take mortal bodies anymore. They will sit on the ground. The bones will be reclaimed to some degree. Animals tend to not eat the bodies. Instead, bacteria does. And so you wind up with festering, smelly things, and animals won't touch it. So it's kind of
that's I was thinking when I came up with that. I'm thinking of the way and I literally lost the word. Anybody watch Last of Us?
Mm-hmm.
So that whole thing is how the psyllium and the back, whatever
the
hell
infected.
Oh my God. Yeah, the infected. The way it's that that whole entire like roots system.
Sure.
So the way you just described the festering, we never want that to be. So we burn the body to cleanse that from their afterlife. That's perfect. Yep.
So why do you think it happened?
Why did he come back like that?
Yeah.
He got too big for his britches and wanted to prove himself, and he wasn't ready for what was out there.
So he paid the price for hubris.
His tiny arrogance, hubris, perfect. Yep.
Okay.
The clickers. There you go. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
The water from the west well smells clean, but never freezes. Locals drink it anyway. Do you?
If it's what we know, yes, because I wouldn't do anything different than my parents and everyone else. So yes, sure. I would drink it without question.
All right. Thank you for that.
It's such an RP thing. Like, no, but of course,
Yeah. And it also tells me It also tells me what you've been drinking. That's good. There's an old song people only sing when they're drunk, scared, or dying. What's your line in it? And when did you last hear someone sing it?
Ooh. Wow. Now you're making me like write lyrics again. That's been a long time since I had to do that. What is my line? Carry what you can, steal what you need. Don't get overzealous, 'cause then you will bleed.
Ooh, carry what you can, steal what you need. But
don't get overzealous.
Okay.
Or then you will bleed.
For then you will bleed. Okay. All right.
Seriously,
cool.
I had to access that part of my brain, man. I'm like,
no, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. All right. That's really cool because now I have to write the rest of the goddamn song.
And everyone that doesn't know Steve, he does this to himself all the time.
I do it. It's a thing. All right. So people say Thorn Hollow's been built over twice, once by survivors and once by something else.
Okay, sorry. Start that again.
Sure. People say Thorn Hollow's been built over twice, once by the survivors, meaning you guys who are currently there, and once by something else. What have you seen that makes you think they might be right?
So we did it first, and then something. Oh, sorry, my ancestors did it first, but then
no matter,
else.
Yeah, any answer that you say is correct, and your interpretation of it is the only thing that matters.
Okay, I just wanted to get the question before.
Yeah, it's once by the current occupants, and once by something else.
Okay,
so that could be the Iron Choir. That could be you woke up one morning and saw that there was some odd construction there. It could
that's
be
what I'm thinking about.
New tree house that nature built for no fucking reason. Anything that you wish.
Yeah, I was thinking about something in the town that was built. Let's say they're never. This is perfect because we live in where we live, the plains and the open, and we have our own little thing and crossroads and all that. But
so when you say plains, something to keep in mind: the forests fucking move. You will see out there in the woods, you will see roots slowly, but still fast enough where you're definitely noticing that these things will, like creeper vines, only in time-lapse photography. You will see shit move. Every now and then, an entire section of the forest will go.
Wow. All right, so my thought was there is a fortified basement type of thing, an underground storage or underground, whatever it might be, fill in the blank.
Cellar, sure, yeah.
No one really knows how it was put there, but the door is metal and it has a very interesting lock on it that I can't even come close to even thinking of unlocking. So it's got some kind of bitch ass key that's got to be there.
I smell plot devices.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm giving you stuff. I know how your brain works. I just have to remember you're not out to kill me anymore, but I know how your brain works for story.
Oh, I was never out to kill you. Anyway, moving on.
Is your name? Who are you and what did you do?
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Body snatching motherfucker.
So, I've asked my 10 questions. Now, what can you...
that's it. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I have 50 more. I'm not done, but I mean, I can be done. But now I want to turn it over to you to start collaborating on the story. Have any of the answers that you've given sparked any additional thought as to what might be going on here, your place in it, or what have you. Mind you, we really haven't touched on the Iron Choir.
I'm gonna say I don't have much to add in that yet.
Okay.
I don't even know how to touch that right now
No worries.
because I'm just really answering questions. I haven't gotten my feet under this character yet.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's totally expected because we haven't even really gone into game just yet.
yeah.
So I have here a wiki entry that discusses the Iron Choir. So let me hit that, and this will give you an idea as to some of the faction that is going on within Thorn Hollow. So there is Thorn Hollow, and then there's the Thorn Hollow Expanse, right? So lore, here we go. The Iron Choir began as blacksmith monks who believed metalwork was a form of prayer. Over time, they became both preachers and enforcers, blending scripture with scavenging and survivalist doctrine. They revere labor, grit, and self-reliance, believing that forging iron is how one forges the will to endure the claiming. So the claiming is the very first thing here that we should discuss. This is an integral part of the world. The claiming is what happens when somebody witnesses nature take over a house, a body, or what have you. Nature does it so fast that humans can finally perceive nature at work. While creatures like deer and or not deer, but bears or any kind of an omnivore or carnivore, wolves, they really won't touch mortal bodies, and there's not an understanding there, leading some to believe that there's a little bit of nature's reverence of the body or something like that. Others have said, nope, there's something about us that's just not right. And their evidence for saying that, or their supposed evidence for it, is the claiming. Nature wants to take away anything that you have laid claim to. Nature will take over this village if you don't cut it back. Now, of course, we understand that, and over the course of a single, over the course of a single year, we can see nature begin to, the old house down the block that was overgrown over the course of years. Tall grass that needs to be cut back to the point where it's like wild grass can occur in about 5 years. This will occur in 1 month. So the claiming is a very active overgrowth, almost like kudzu.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's like kudzu. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
if you don't, oof.
So that's that.
Yeah. Okay.
They train in martial discipline. They enforce strict communal ethics and reject idleness as a sin. Their sermons ring out through the air as tones are struck from blade chimes, which are twisted lengths of metal and bone that hang from ruined scaffolds or high trees, for as long as the tree is willing to withstand its presence. Every note is a part of a code, a rhythm. Locals know how to read them. You as well. Outsiders just stop and listen because it's not music. It's warning. It's ritual. It's memory. And they never repeat a sequence. Every message is new. Great. And if you know how to hear it, it'll tell you what's coming. Their symbol, a spiked anvil crowned in flame, marks buildings that offer shelter, but only to those who are willing to work. So, though not everyone follows them, their ideology has become cultural law. When I said that they don't have laws, they have laws. These are the laws I'm referring to, but they don't have laws in that they are written down by and held in place by some government or what have you. This is cultural law, the things that just simply are. By blessed iron, we endure. No hand unused, no blade unsharpened. Children are taught to recite metallurgy prayers, even outside of the choir.
That's cool.
Traders coat their carts in iron scraps, mimicking choir blessings. So a choir
that for us.
What's that?
I like that for our caravan. That's great because it makes sense.
Yeah. So a trader blessing. These are scraps of metal that have had some symbology inscribed on it, and supposedly it carries some good fortune with it. And it's said that if you're dying but your tools are clean, the choir will leave you to the wane. Now, what the fuck is the wane? The wane is death. It's the waning of life. And so they will let you die if your tools are clean, because they don't believe that there should be ever a clean tool. It should always be used. Having said that, they know how to take care of their shit, but cleaning is not a part of it in that sense. So they do oil and what have you, but you understand where that's going, the philosophy behind it. There are several NPCs within Thorn Hollow Station. There is Bray, the Forge Warden. They are the Iron Choir. They are the senior steward of Thorn Hollow Station, which is where the Iron Choir is. They are former scavenger turned steward. Calm voice, soot-streaked skin, calloused hands. Bray mediates disputes and oversees all forge work with ritual precision, and offers shelter to outsiders who carry their weight. This is just to give you an example of this. During our, but you will be able to see the wiki currently in our little secret area. And for those of you,
yeah, I'm reading it with you right now. Yep.
Cool. And for those of you at home, all this information will also be made available at evindale.com/deadlight. So, let me see if we have anything else here. Let me check the chat.
Want to go on the bed? All right, give me 1 sec while you're checking the chat.
Go ahead.
Let the doggy on the bed.
So let's see what you guys have said here. Let's see. Alex, thank you so much for the info on the spine of the world. Really appreciate that.
Back in.
You watched some of the creations, said map. Yes, yeah. I know. I finally started getting. Finally started mapping out this whole area. I mean, I normally can't be here this late. I got that. Smite bots. Yes, that equal mod. I need there to be an old man whittling on his porch. I mean, yeah. So, Death, your original question here, nomadic life pioneer. They have been in, many people don't. So, nomadic life very often goes off on a territory, if you will, like a territorial run or what have you. Unless they're just true nomads. They don't give a shit where they go. The only problem is that such nomads won't really last, and particularly in this world. Because we're going to head towards those mountains is a great idea. Chances are those mountains aren't going to go anywhere. The forest will. Organic stuff will. So landmarks change. And at one moment where you knew that there was a lake, a couple of willows move in, suck it all dry, and then move out. And all of a sudden you don't have a source of water. So nomads have learned very quickly how not to be nomadic and how to stay in place and simply cut back nature, because it still moves slower than a pair of walking feet. Many of the things that are out there, however, you can imagine a dark fantasy world with its variations of nature that has gone rogue. Deer. We can go back to slightly prehistoric times where deer even had elongated canines, like that kind of a thing. The existing deer, whose name I cannot remember, that has 6 noses. Have you seen this deer that has 6 nostrils? I'm not even joking. It's a real deer. I forget what they are. But here, like up by their ears, where their ears are, here, here, and here. So when they smell, you see 6 orifices open up on their fucking... Yeah. And
that's like legit where we live today.
That's IRL. That's IRL. Yeah, Alex is going to tell us in a second who. What
Damn, son.
But yeah, they are like, that kind of shit is normal in this world. So take it one step further, and what is nature going to face off with? So you mentioned a creature and gave me a description for that. So that'll become canon in a little bit. Pioneer's kind of good. The Iron Choir sounds evil. The Iron Choir does as the Iron Choir must. They understand metallurgy in ways that many other people don't. So, and typically, and on this level of survivalism, you're going to see a rapid progression of tech because necessity becomes the mother of invention. So let's see what the Iron Choir will do. I see Brian's in chat. Gaelic Wolf sounds like a lovely place. It is. Sounds like the Bamboo Forest. Yeah, from the Ten Rings Marvel movie. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Bermuda Triangle, Butter Forest. Kind of. Yeah. It's a fantasy version of an HOA. It's a homeowners association. The Iron Choir is the HOA.
What? Who said that?
It's Death 25. That's funny as fuck. Now I'm trying to imagine a special whistle, and then we continue down.
Oh, I can't go back that far.
Let's see here. The same fucking brains. Okay, there we go. Carry what you can, see what you need. Don't get overzealous, for then you will bleed. Boil all your water. Char all your meat. Even if you're starving, be careful what you eat. Keep your feet dry. Shelter when it rains. Stay on the roads. Save when the basin drains. Hold on. Copy.
Exactly right.
That's yup. I mean, we're gonna do this. Okay, this is from Ben. All right, credit goes to Ben for the first canonical entry. One of your favorite shows back in the day talked about what would happen if humanity just disappeared one day. I remember that. And how long our footprint would last. Ultimately, not that long.
Not that long.
No. Party on, Wayne. That's funny. Life After People.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the title? I had to Google it. There it is. Yes. Ah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Muntjac deer.
Holy crap.
I don't have Discord up immediately. Hold on. Got you. All right. Okay, cool. Thank you, Alex. I got it. All right. So, other people sent me shit too. Who's sending me all the good stuff? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, there we are. Raith. When it comes to your character itself in terms of stats, without having to get into the weeds or anything along those lines, what really stands out as something that you would like to lock in? Not that you need to, but where would you go?
In a skill type of thing?
So what is their class? Or again, we're playing Pathfinder 2 Remaster.
Oh, what I'm locking into is Rogue, without question.
Okay. All right.
That's never going to change. Yep.
One of the things I also told the players with regards to this campaign is because a lot of the Evindale lineages, called ancestries in Pathfinder parlance, have some magical effects. And magic these days is like, that kind of stuff would have been weaned out of people because they would have been put to death or locked away, never procreate, and what have you. So those traits would not have been passed down so much. I said, you can play whatever you want, and it can look however you wish. However, something you should keep in mind is, for the most part, all of it's going to be aesthetic in this world. Having said that, if you were to play, let's say, a Miradil, which has a lot of fire-based feats because they are the feel of the they're kind of like elemental elves of fire. They could gain these feats in the future. But for the most part, everyone can create a human and what have you. Having said that, is there anything particular that you would like to play, if not a human?
I'm going to fall back to the answer I gave you the other day. I looked through all of your ancestries on page, and nothing actually resonated with me.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
That's why I chose human.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. But I also don't understand some of them, so I may revisit that and get some clarification from you during the week.
Okay.
And may shift that. But humans seem to be simple right now. And that's it.
All right. Cool deal.
And I've also never played a human. In any of your games, I've never been.
No, that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true. You haven't. All right. So, when it comes to going out there in beyond the village. This is something that you have done on occasion. What is the one thing that you fear more than anything that lies beyond the bounds?
Because he kind of prides himself on his perception and his uncanny reflexes and all that stuff, I get scared of running into the unknown that we don't know of yet as we move or whatever. If we're staying in place, just something we might not know or something that comes into the area that we were unaware of that is faster than me, that can make my life hell. And it falls into that subcategory of never go out by yourself, because that's how you end up. If you're not good, you're going to get slaughtered.
Okay.
And so I'm afraid of just something better, faster, smarter, that type of thing.
Okay.
And this is all off the top of my head, which we all know.
Sure. Yeah, again, you're not locked into anything.
Oh yeah.
So what I'll end up doing with this information is, because you gave me a lot here, including Ben and some of the other people here, I'll end up creating stuff. This is all seed, and whether or not you marry yourself to it once it exists is beyond the point. But you are, just like in every other aspect of Evindale, the players have always been pretty much the ones who end up creating the world. They ask the questions, I come up with some answer, and then over time I just repeat that same answer, and then all of a sudden it becomes canonical. So we're doing things a little bit backward. I want to see how it is that you guys view this world, so that's where we're going with that. Okay, cool. Invisible clicking noise intensifies. Oh, God, why you got to do that, Ben?
Yeah, I envision this world as kind of predatory, because it's we're finally taking it back, like you said, from the interregnum and the big cataclysm and all that, and what do you call it, generations and this and that. We're finally starting to create civilizations, create those towns. The fact that we have a fortified crossroads and that type of thing is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's that, like you said, it can overtake something quickly. That predatory nature is a big thing that is a fear in everyone. And
Sure.
that you have to be and it's almost like you have to be in front of the tsunami at all times to live.
Yep.
That's the thought. Yeah, I dig that.
Okay. And all right. Now, I have everything that I need. What do you need from me? What are some questions that you may have about the setting or NPCs or relationships, really anything that would help you on your journey to creating the character?
I don't really think I need any of that, because I mean, there's going to be, like you said, I don't know, but Wisp knows because he's lived in this world for 24 years.
Mhm.
So those things can be, hey, this, blah, 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 and that can be, fixed off the table, above the table, whatever I call it. But I like playing, and this actually gives me a real chance to play an organic game, because I've had so much knowledge of your world and so much. So every time we re-roll a first level character, I have to remember that Maz, who was part of the interregnum, who was level 23, and his stealth before rolling was a 96. So I mean, I had so much meta in my brain. That's Pathfinder 1, by the way. There's no 96s anymore. It's like I love the fact that I know nothing, and I really want to keep it that way, because the interactions will be more natural.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that Wisp would know, you would tell me, then I put it in the brain, then it becomes in my brain, and then we move on from that knowledge. So yeah, I just rather play organically with that. I don't really think there's anything else, because we haven't fleshed anything out yet. So I guess really what I might need fleshed is the leader of my caravan, what my parents are, what their jobs are,
Okay.
what they do for the caravan, And what kind? Oh yeah, this is what I do need. What type, if I have any, connections in locations to fence or sell besides asshole that hates me up north and the tanner if he deals with that or whatever. I'd like to have some place to be able to fence my shit in Thorn Hollow.
Sure. So because I can answer the last one very simply, because everyone in the community works with the community, the notion of fencing is not a thing. The notion of stealing isn't a thing either. From each other, then that's grounds for
I'll remove the word fence to be able to sell what I get or give what I get, that type of thing, to be able to make trade.
Coinage kind of exists only for very large civilizations. Outside
more
of
like
that's all barter and trade. So whenever you get something, you want to know who your go-to person is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you would be ultimately responsible for finding something, for finding somebody who has a need, and then going out there and getting it for them. That would be like one example of a job that you have. If the Iron Choir has received information from whomever, from nature or whatever, that a supply wagon from some outlying area is coming through and they want what's on it, they would, bring you in to say, go get that, etc. So your stuff is more purpose-based. When it comes down to like stealing stuff and then redistributing to the community, that could also just be you doing what you do best, and that's it. So yeah, there's not so much of like a rogues guild or thieves guild type of operation.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, nor are there any real storefronts. You're looking at an agrarian community, and as such, they would. Their really only concern is survival. Outside of this, things may be different, but at least that's how Thorn Hollow operates.
That's actually why I took survival, and I don't think I've ever taken survival as a rogue.
Yeah, this makes sense. Survival comes in handy not only in being able to determine what mushrooms you can eat, but also tracking and other things that are really handy.
Yeah, I took crafting, nature, society, and survival. I don't think I've taken them really that often.
Okay.
In a first level build. So yeah, I'm going according to this world where this character would need to be that character because I'm from this area.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the, not trying to make the ultimate rogue. I'm making a real dude,
Oh yeah. That's just it. This is not a.
Yeah, there's no min-maxing here with that shit.
Dungeon crawls, as an example, like your typical like dungeon crawl.
Oh sure.
They exist because ancient ruins exist. But it's not going to be your cleaned hallway of stone with torches that are lit. No. This is very different. Alrighty, let's see. So okay, I'm reading through the answers that you gave me.
Oh yeah, please. Have fun. I'm actually really enjoying this stream and how you're running the beginning of this. This is a lot of fun. Well, hope you guys watching are having fun watching.
Yeah, I hope they're having fun.
I know we do.
All right, let's see where this goes. You ready?
Sure.
So you're seated. Let's see, I'm reading your answers here. Okay. Okay, so you're seated at the edge of a broken cartwheel, and you're thumbing a brittle rind of a dried apple core. The sunlight is cutting through the tree line, which is still moving. Like blades, you can see through like a mist. You know how the sunlight comes right through, and you just see these sharp-ass blades of sun. Okay, but the sunlight's not going to last. There's a basin outside that sometimes gets filled, but the basin is already draining, and the last well, the one to the west, is going to dry up within days. And so a caravan's forming. And it's not a trading run. This one's a little bit too desperate. It is a resupply from old ruins. Now, it's risky, but it's needed. And the leader is Tamer Feld. He's a one-armed man. He used to be part of the Iron Choir. He keeps his sermons short and his punishments shorter. He's known you since you were nary.
Oh, boy.
So you catch him staring at you now. And it's the same look he gave you after that apple. And he wonders, or rather you wonder if he remembers. He probably does. So your parents, Jassa, Jassa.
Oh, see, now I got to take notes. That I want. God damn, got the trusty notebook here. All right, let's go. Spell the name for my mommy.
Sure. It's Jassa, Jassa.
Okay.
And Coil, Coil.
For dad.
Mm-hmm. And they are menders. They are the fixers of cloth, cart, and bone. They don't ask where things come from.
Dude, that's amazing. I took a skill feat called Quick Repair. God, that works beautifully.
There you go. Perfect. So
amazing.
Yeah, let's see.
You can tell we played long together.
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, no, this kind of shit works because I know how you play your rogue. So, they don't ask where things that you bring back, where they come from, and they know that you're never, ever going to lie about them. They didn't name you Wisp.
No.
But they know why others did. And they know what happens when a shadow gets too sharp. You've got a few contacts to offload your findings. So let's see here. Becklin, Becklan, and Terv, Terv.
And who are they again?
These are some of your contacts which help you offload.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
They're not quite fences, but they are sisters. They have that salvager's charm and no shame.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Okay. They run their trades through a crumbling smokehouse east of Thorn Hollow, so opposite the well. Word is that they pay well, especially for anything that hums, clicks, or bleeds odd. Thank you, chat, for putting out clickers, because there you go. So if it hums, it clicks, or bleeds really weird, they want it.
Oof.
And
oh yeah,
Tamer, the old guy, he approaches.
Oh yeah, give me his name again. Tamer what?
Tamer.
Oh yeah, but didn't you have a last name a second ago?
Tamer Feld. I need to write this down. Hold on.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take notes until you gave my mom's name, and then I'm
yeah,
like,
no. It's all, and this is all in the bots. I'll also transcribe it. So
that's all good.
Yeah, he's one armed guy. Used to be a part of the Iron Choir, and he gave you that apple that you're kind of playing around with. So he comes over to you.
Okay.
You coming? And he's got a, let's see, voice like dry flint. So, I like the sound of the, you coming? Or are you going to vanish again before the boots hit the ground? And then he takes a look and he's pointing over towards the board about that creature. It's gone.
What's gone?
The post on the board about that night creature.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's not up on the board anymore.
Ah.
So he holds it up.
Oh, you're going to do that now? I am in, and I want a piece of that.
Okay. So you're going to accept this. So what he's doing is,
who's coming?
Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be several people that we may not want. but need.
Okay, that's life in general, so fair.
But you're the first one. I'll get the caravan tomorrow. I'll work night. I'll ask them. Go back to the choir. See if any of the Oddfellows can join. Okay. Tomorrow morning, sunrise, here. And he goes back in and here. He crumples it up and throws it over to you. Now, paper back then, it's pressed fibers. So it's not thin sheets that we may be accustomed to, but rather hefty things. They don't fall apart so easily. They have mastered the science of papercraft. And nature does provide some good glues that hold all the fibers together. So their paper's a little bit more sturdy. Still, don't get it wet. Other than that, he throws it over to you.
I got a question for you, Tam. Why now? And you? Did you take this off the board? Or did you just happen to be the one that was left with it, knowing we're going to get more? But you did say it's just me. So I'm curious, why now?
No, you're the first one. There will be others.
Just curious, that's all.
So, he wears a vest that from his old Iron Choir days. Something he used to wear under the gray robes. It's really thick leather. And probably from before when Thorn Hollow was called Thorn Hollow. Because 2 nights ago, the west well hissed. Not overflowed. It didn't just, not dried. It hissed. Like a breath from something within it. No one's talking about it, but half the kids are they're like waking up soaked in sweat. And you drink the water long enough, and you start dreaming of things with too many joints and not enough face. He reaches down and picks up a satchel, throws it over his shoulder. So you've got good feet, Wisp. Better eyes than most. And if we don't come back with real savage or a reason to not stay here, Thorn Hollow won't last the season. But we'll tear up the roots and scatter. Again. And this time, I don't think we'll come back.
I don't like that. Let's avoid that as much as we can.
Well, it is what it is.
True. I just don't want my parents to have to go through that. Nor do I really want to fucking do it either. But hey, I'm more concerned about them and the rest of the old folk. Anyway, all right, tomorrow morning here. What time?
Sunrise.
Looks up, see what time it is now. All right.
We have about 2 hours of daylight left. But I have a question for you. He looks at you longer than you may like being looked at. Why you're really here? You could have vanished like you always do. You could have slinked off into the spine when you went scouting. No one would have blamed you.
Did I ever give anyone here a feeling that I would do that? That I'm a deserter of my people?
Survival. As I said, no one would have blamed you.
No.
But you have feet
Not my
and a
thing.
good sense. All right. May not be a thing, but you have feet and a good sense on you.
That's true.
Most of the people,
Thank you.
They won't live. They won't last. Nature's already thinning the herd, as it were. So.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Kind of give you an
What do
idea
you
as to
need
where
me
we're.
to? What do you need me to bring? Tools of my trade, light or fully stocked?
I'd go light. You're going to lead. I trust your eyes. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to stay east of the well fields and hug the broken ridge line. That's going to add a day.
I have a setup for running point.
Okay. We're going to run into the maw, however. And that's not going to be good. So we may end up with some dry throats before then. So get some, pack some water as well. Whatever you got. All right.
Hey, do you know if, well, you know what? Let me go check with Becklin and Turv to see if they have any, now, moose ears. It's just, you're the only one that knows that right now. Is there anything that could be besides a water skin? Is there anything that we could have that would be moisture, like that would hold like a sponge or a fruit that has, liquid, that type of thing that we would know to bring with us? But they're not, an everyday thing.
To store water?
Yeah, like if you dip a sponge in water and then put it in a thing, it's still gonna pretty much hold the water.
Right.
Then if you have to, you could just take a little bit or like some kind of succulent fruit that has a lot of juice that would at least quench something. That's all I'm thinking about. If that doesn't exist, that's great. But
there could be some things. I think the real question is, what's the water source that you're going to get it from? But, I mean, certainly fabrics, clothing. A lot of that, though, is also handmade. So, in a pinch, you can grab like an old shirt. There's no fruits that will yield that kind of. Well, it depends upon where you are. Since you're going near a broken ridge line, it's going to be up in the hilly area. You might be able to find like some tubers or something like that.
Yeah, I was Alex and Ben had some cool ideas in there right at the bottom of the chat.
Hold on, let me take a look.
Yep, the last two sentences.
Barrel cactus type plants, cactus juice.
That'd be great.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, certainly out there. I think that these things would exist, knowing where you are.
Okay, cool. So we won't need it. Okay, so ignore the question because I won't need it ahead of time. So I recant that Becklin turf thing, and how long do you plan on being out, and how far are we going?
Until we get what we need. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay. Sleep well, Tam.
And he just leaves it at that. So now we know where you're going to start.
Yes, we do.
So, Raith, 5th age, first impressions.
Oh my God. It feels like everything is without. Like there's every single scavenged thing, very similar to a post-apocalyptic, zombie movie show thing, where anything and everything, you find a way to repurpose it, you find a way to keep it going. If not, you go find more. And everything is scarce, so everything is precious, and that includes friends and trusted people. And so that's what I like about it. It's just raw and it's untamed, where I'm used to the bazaar. I don't need to go anywhere. Just leave me in the bazaar and Maz would be happy. That math of that. I didn't need to go anywhere else. So there's nothing of that here.
What Raith is referring to is amazing. In the 4th age, and it actually continues to exist, supposedly anyway, into the 5th age.
I'm so excited.
Is the Katakar Bazaar, which was created by PCs in a campaign long ago.
And one thing about the Kaltakar Bazaar,
Hmm.
if you want, they have the best Minotaur jerky. Do you remember that shit?
Holy shit, dude. Dude, you're making me sweat out of nervousness of how much you remember. So the bazaar
I
is.
lived in that world forever. I played Maz for like 3 years.
Yeah, seriously, and it's like 3 years. There
has to be more than that.
There are streams out there that celebrate like 20 years of a tabletop game, and then Twitch came about, and then they continued to play.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's fucking
So
amazing.
wild.
So amazing.
And I love that though. That's incredible.
Raith, why don't you tell us about what you also do outside of this?
Oh, me personally,
yes,
as, not Wisp or Little Neri. I used to run a, without arrogance, just from reactions and things I was told, I ran one of the best karaoke businesses in my area because I am a music junkie. That is like my life. I love music. And because I kind of went on hiatus with that, in order to connect with music again, I started up a reaction channel on YouTube. I started back in January. And a moment of bragging, I literally just hit a massive milestone the other day. I broke 1,000 subs in 4 months, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I just hit 80,000 views this morning, which is insane.
Yeah, it's only 4 months that you've been doing this, but why don't you tell us the name of it? Tell us what it is that you do.
So I'm a Gen Xer, because that's why I was born. I got the grays on my face. I'm an old man, but I called it "We're all Gen X here" because I'm a Gen Xer. What I'm doing is all Gen X POVs or the opinion of someone who grew up in that time. So the music, the nostalgia, looking at new music from my eyes, looking at old music from my eyes, so that's why I called it "We're all Gen X here." I react to music, so I have I either do decades, like a most popular type of thing that people have created, then I kind of take that and react to it, which is like 120 songs real fast from the decades, where the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts. I'm going to go into the 10s shortly, which I'm going to know nothing. I react to old music. I've been doing a lot of ABBA lately. I did a Springsteen song, and I am really into Ghost. So I had to sacrifice my need for music for a month because their new album, which went number 1 on Billboard, by the way, their first number 1 is the first number 1 rock album to hit Billboard since AC/DC back in 20, I think, or 22, something like that. Anyway, so I'm doing Ghost, but I literally had to wait a month. I couldn't listen to the album for a month because I wanted to do the first 3 singles and I wanted to react to them first-time reactions. That's all I really do is first-time reactions.
Okay.
And I'm so glad I got rid of them, or finished them, rather. Excuse me. I'm literally editing the last one now, Peacefield, if anybody knows Ghost. I now get to listen to the album, and I finally can, so I'm happy about that. So that's really what I do, is music reactions. I have Patreon. I have membership on YouTube. I have a lot of stuff like that as well, and it's just a lot of fun.
Alrighty. So we are going to end the stream now. Ray, thank you so much. And once again, Ray's YouTube video, we're all Gen X here. The link is going to be posted one more time right there on YouTube. Go on over there and go follow. It's a lot of fun. Okay, go watch. We don't yet have a hard and fast schedule of when Raith is going to be back, whether it's next week or every other week, but it is going to be a consistent schedule. You will always be able to find the schedule at evindale.com/deadlight. The schedule will be there, as well as character bios, player bios, and what have you. Any last words or anything like that?
I just want to say thank you for doing this. I want to say thank you to our chat. You guys were so much fun to talk to. I appreciate the back and forth.
They are fun.
But it's so fun to actually have a chat that's active and they're fucking around. They're being goofy, asking real questions, filling in shit we can't think of, giving you plot points.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, some of you, no offense. But
I'll see you guys later. Love you all. And you know what to do. Stay dorkable. Bye-bye.